Labdien! Mani sauc Konstantīns Kuzikas, un tas ir raidījums Nākotnes kapitāls. Šajā raidījumā mēs tikai runājam par to, kā investēt, bet mēs arī paši investējam kopā ar Raju Viluni. Kā mēs investējam, kādas investīcijas mēs veicam, par to jūs varat uzzināt portālā Nākotnes.lv. Bet šodien man ir viesis, un ļoti interesants viesis, jo tas ir starptautiskas energo kompānijas Ignitis groupe valdes priekšstājs un izpilddirektors Darju Maikštēns. Visi intervija notiks angļu valodā, bet būs nodrošināta ar latviešu subtitriem. Un arī tāds paziņojums, ka man nav Ignitis groupe akcijas, bet man kolēģim Rājam tas akcijas ir. Hello, Darīs. How are you?
Hello. Thank you. Fine. How are you?
Thanks. We would like to ask you why we should invest in Ignitis. Because here in Latvia, we are living with two companies. We very well know the name like Latvijas and Enefit. And these like companies with whom Latvians are usually working. But Ignitis Group is quite a big company, as I know. But it's like no name here, sorry for these words, in Latvia. That's why please give us some information. Why Ignitis Group so unique comparing to others, Latvian and Estonian energy companies?
Sure, with pleasure. So you're right. Currently, most known companies in the Latvian market are, of course, Electrum and Enefit. But Ignitis is also present in Latvian market, and already we have 16% of B2B electricity market share and about 12% B2C market share via different brand provided by Telecom Debt. If to compare those three companies, they are very different ones. It's difficult to compare Ignitis to Latvijas Energo, since Latvijas Energo is not a listed company, and usually when you list the company, you have to have very strong corporate governance structure, also a lot of different level of transparency and reporting and the processes. So we cannot comment about Latvijas Energo since it's not yet on the market. I hope that sooner or later Latvian energy flagman also will be on the stock exchange. When probably it would be worth to compare and to make some conclusions. While with Estonia Energy and Enefit, they listed only green generation arm, and entire holding of Est Energy. They have not only green energy assets, but also other parts of energy business. And the specific situation in Estonia is that Estonia still generates about 80 or even more % of electricity from shale oil, managed by Estonia Energy, and it's of course not sustainable. So there will be a huge investments needed to replace this generation in the future, just in order to decarbonize entire region. As an Ignitis, we are a fully listed company, and we don't have such kind of legacy assets like in Est Energy, and at the core of our strategies, ESG and decarbonization of entire not only Lithuania, but three Baltic states, and we operate also in Finland and Poland. And if to look at the business model and comparing to the Enefit Green, I would say that Ignitis has a next generation business model, because at the beginning, at the early days of green generation development, usually the environment of those investments were characterized by a strong level of support and guaranteed offtake from the government. So different models of support, CFD, FIDIN, and others, they are protecting developer from the revenue side. And the need was only to be smart and efficient while developing and constructing green generation assets. And nowadays, environment is changing quite rapidly. First of all, since the situation changed in technologies and green generation assets became most efficient and cost efficient, produced energy-wise, more and more markets and governments dismantling any kind of subsidies, and currently green generation business is more related to merchant exposure. So those developers have to secure further offtake of energy produced. And also we are living right now in completely different situation on the financing side. Interest rates are raising. Therefore, integrated utility model that Ignitis has a huge advantages, and so that's why we are calling it as a next generation business models, because we are not only investing into new green generation assets, but also having and already developing cross-country portfolio of offtake. We are having very strong positions in Lithuania, expanding our operations across our home markets as well. So having a strong retail base, we can strike internal PPAs, internal purchase agreements of long-term supply for electricity and other energy means versus our generation, and therefore making our projects bankable. Also in our portfolio, we have DSO element, distribution networks, which is fully regulated business and provides very strong financial backbone, financial resilience backbone, with very clearly visible future cash flows, which are fully regulated. That element brings to the portfolio financial resilience and stability, especially when we are investing a lot into new green generation projects, which are becoming more and more expensive and huge. Therefore, combining those two assets, resilience and the growth element, which comes from green generation and supported by huge offtake portfolio, we are creating value continuously while being resilient during the turbulent times, so to say.
It sounds very interesting. And when I have heard that green energy, usually I also know that the price is higher because it's more expensive. When we talk about Enefit and Electrum, Latvians are trusting Electrum because this is our old brand. When we talk about Enefit, they all the time try to offer cheaper price, and part of the Latvians started to use this. What will be your plans for Latvians? Are you talking about quality? Are you talking about price? Or maybe it's something will be absolutely new that we didn't see yet here in market?
Ignitis brand is always comes together with very high quality of customer support and flexibility of the products. But in the core of the business, since we are developing not only in Lithuania, but in Latvia, extremely large portfolio of green generation. Currently in Latvia, we have 1.3 gigawatts of renewable portfolio in development. Out of those, 600 megawatts are of the late stage, which means that first electricity will be delivered to the network already in 2025. So this green generation portfolio brings completely new level of pricing, because early days, renewables were more expensive means of production. That's why we needed some level of support. And currently, it's the situation changed completely, and production and generation using green generation assets in large industrial scale solar and wind parks provide lowest level of pricing for electricity. Therefore, fundamentally, we are providing very competitive energy means combined with flexibility and world-class customer support.
So sounds like a price will be one of your benefits. This is good because I love when prices are going down. Okay.
True. Everybody likes it.
Absolutely true. But when we talk about investors, why we should invest right now? because you are talking about plans and you're talking about 2025 or maybe even 2027 or 2030. But right now, why should Latvians, and you know that Latvians are not so big investors, they more like real estate than shares and bonds. Why Latvians should invest exactly right now in Ignitis Group?
I see. Of course, I cannot provide specific investment recommendations, but usually the generic recommendation is buy when it's low and sell when it's high. And what I can tell you, just look at the fundamentals of Ignitis Group, and especially how we delivering our promises. We are listed. We've been listed in 2020, and we were continuously fulfilling our revenue guidances and even improving those several times a year. So it doesn't matter it was a COVID year or energy war year, we were very continuously consistent around our strategy. And if to talk about the investment, one of the key elements in our value proposition is that we combine resilience with the growth. And resilience is based fundamentally on our dividend policy, which is based on the fixed amount, which started from 85 million in 2020 with guaranteed 3% growth rate annually. That provides the resilience for the foreseeable cash flow and also provides resilience for the share price during the turbulent times. While on the other hand, we are investing very heavily into green generation, which brings a new value, and you can see that our portfolio does just during last year doubled total portfolio of green generation, and in the development phase even tripled. And right now it's reaching 4.1 gigawatts of green generation capacity. So you have both fundamentals, resilience and growth, and just the question of time when the share price is merging with fundamentals. What kind of expectations investors can consider? It's better to analyze the strategy and also to go and read publicly available on our website guidance of independent the investment analysts, which are also drilling down our fundamentals and our performance and do their own conclusions and recommendations.
Sounds interesting. And but for our audience, I would like to remind that Ignitis Group started or came to EPO in October 2020. The price was 22.20 euros. For that period, the highest price was almost 25 euros, very good result. At the same time, the lowest was almost 18 euros. And right now, price is 20.25 euros. So actually, from EPO period, the price dropped by 8.75%. Do you think that that market show your real price, or actually you a little bit underestimate?
You have to make your own conclusions by reading.
But what is your feeling about this price?
Reports and those analysts, they provide their target prices, which are usually quite higher compared to the current level. As I said, fundamentals speak for themselves, and therefore Ignitis Group share, it's a mid-term, long-term type of investment, and therefore if you treat it from this perspective, you will see that it has a very strong potential. Also, if to compare fundamentally with European Utility 600 index, again, we are performing quite well, and we are usually outperforming this index.
Very good. For our readers, I also would like to say that I have investments into Shell and into Next Energy. Both companies are now showing good results, especially during the last couple of weeks. But my colleague who invests in the Ignitis group saw a green color. It means that a growth in shares. So actually, Darys, you're absolutely right that you perform better than comparing to international companies right now. Okay, I watched on your report and I noticed that you have a huge EBITDA. And the question is, what you are going to do with this EBITDA? Because actually there are two ways. Or you invest, and you said that you will plan to invest a lot of money, but at the same time, what shareholders love? They love the dividends and payouts. What is your plan with dividends and payouts?
So with dividends, as I said, we have very clear and strong dividend policy, which is based on the fixed amount and minimum annual growth. Currently, we do not foresee any share buyouts since we see a very strong potential to invest, and our strategies, as long as we see profitable growth investments available to us, we are reinvesting our profit into new assets, so creating the value for shareholders.
How would you describe your investor? What this person stand for? Is it a person who loves your dividends or loves your development or maybe something else? Is it a person who loves risks because actually predict that the price will go very fast up? Or it's like more conservative? For whom is Ignitis shares the best option?
Of course, there are many different segments choosing share for the different reasons, and most probably those who like very volatile prices and a lot of speculation during the day trade or on the shorter period. Ignitis is not a best choice for such kind of activities, but for people who are interested in mid-term and long-term investments related to ESG and sustainability with quite strong resilience ensured by strong dividend policy with the quite good dividend yield and with very strong potential for growth. That is the choice. One of the choices is Ignitis Group share, I would say.
Sounds like a good option, not for only professional, but only for investors who just start the first steps. But do you personally invest? What is your favorite investment tool? Shares, bonds, crypto, something else?
As a very busy person, I don't have a time to dig deeper into investments, and my personal view is that when you invest, you have to know where you invest, and you have to understand the strategy fundamentals, read reports, and read the market analysis, and make your own strategies and conclusions. Therefore, as a very busy person, I'm not very active on the investment area. I have some investments in real estate, and of course I have some investments in Ignitis. I have 3,000 Ignitis shares.
And good advices for our viewers, because I see that actually you all the time has to understand what company or what shares of company you are going to buy. Because if you don't understand this business, then probably you will sell it too early or too late. Okay, thanks, Darys. I would like to remind to all our audience that today we had Ignitis Group CEO Darju Maikštēnu with us. Thank you for this interview and good luck with all your plans.
Thank you.
Un mūsu skatītājiem gribētu atgādināt par to, ka kopā ar mums šodien bija starptautiskās enerģiju kompānijas Ignitis Group valdes priekšsēdētājs un izpilddirektors Darju Maikštēns. Un tiekamies jau nākamnedēļ, kad mēs parunāsim par to, kā veids mums ar Rāvi, un kad mums studijā būs arī nākamais interesants viesis. Paldies, un tiekamies jau pēc nedēļas.